Welcome to the final day of Chaos Season for Chaos Season. What did I just say? For this week, we're taking on Bernie to close out the week, and we're gonna go with the Felix Edelgard combination team, 3 houses pretty much, and we're just gonna go in there and wrap this up. Shouldn't be too much of a problem. I think I was saying for the SDS video that sometimes I forget that this Golvik, this satyr, can actually do damage, and the reason is I'm primarily just running her with Wings of Mercy, and she loses out on a ton of damage because of that. So yeah, when I was like playing some of the SD practice matches, and I was like, how is this unit actually like doing damage like against me? I was quite surprised, and then I realized, oh, I'm only using Wings of Mercy. That's a big problem. That being said, things like Occultist Strike and Assassin Strike aren't even enough anymore in terms of like just damage output against a lot of the tanks that we have. You need like a combination of things, debuffs, drives, and just a lot of support to actually take out a lot of these bulkier units. I have not great hopes for next season with Hector and stuff being bonus for Mortis and all of those guys. Again, very, very surprised that they put all of those units in one season together.
Don't be seen.
I don't know, it's because it's going to be like the Christmas going into the New Year's, and then I guess the New Year's, maybe they'll run that group for a little bit longer than usual, maybe, but typically it would have been Hector's banner and then
I see
the Christmas banner afterwards. Right. So very surprised that they chose to do that, but we're just gonna deal with it. I don't know, it kind of signals to me that we're about to get some really powerful nuke, because it's really easy to just group all of the tanks together so that they get their time to shine, and then right after that, you just bring out a really powerful nuke. But man, this match was actually way shorter than I anticipated it would be. I'm gonna have to GG's. All right, here we are. Hello. So yeah, that match was a lot shorter than I actually anticipated. So I was trying to figure out what to do for content. Not too much came to mind, so I figured let's do that one thing that I said that I'd never do, which is actually just do a summoning video. I couldn't think of anything else. So I feel like this is probably the easiest thing that I could think of doing. So I was like, all right, let's just get a couple things out of the way, not just summons, but just some barrack stuff. And yeah, let's see where we get. So I loaded up some orbs, irresponsibly so, because the emblem banner is right around the corner, and I do want to summon on that. But I also the last minute summons on these banners, I also want to get like another Layla and also another rune. So let's summon until whichever one comes home first. We just can cut it there. Let's see how this goes. Sometimes when you're like sniping on a color, it typically goes horribly wrong, but since it's a double shear, hopefully this is probably like the best opportunity to get one of these two units. Both of them are like really, really good, so I have no problems with merging either of them up. I do actually want to plus 10 rune at some point. I think we're about to hit like a new age of mythics, and even like looking back at Mythic Air, you can see that some of the older mythics are slowly just becoming completely irrelevant. I'm always surprised whenever Freya is bonus, because I'm like, what exactly is she gonna do? At some point you're gonna probably have to even swap out her weapon, because what she offers with that weapon and the B skill just isn't that great anymore. And I'm actually like picking up really random copies of this Severa. She's actually very good she pierces damage reduction whenever she procs godlike reflexes, and I think that's actually pretty dope. There aren't many other units in the game. I think she might be the only one that actually does that actually. So I do intend, if I get a couple more copies, to merge her up. give her a build and see how she performs. I got like a copy for, what was that game mode? Oh, Pawns of Loki, and she did very well. So I don't know, maybe it's stat inflation, but it's gonna be interesting, or it would be interesting to test her out. I'm probably gonna. The only thing I haven't given her is like a C skill. I think I gave her like Joint Drive, which is like, what's the point in this current meta? So all right. So this is actually pretty decent. I can give someone one of my god swords the distant counter seal. So the only question is who. Alright, we'll think about that in a little bit, but let me go back to what I was saying. Yeah, this is actually very, very rare luck. I'm never this lucky. That's a couple 5 stars in just a few circles. That's actually pretty dope. But yeah, great content, which was the whole point of this video. And whoa, okay. I don't know what's going on here. Yes, I really need those. I think we're gonna keep going for a little bit. I didn't expect to get him so soon, so it's only gonna be this isn't like a 5-minute video at this point. I gotta put more content. I can't put out a 5-minute video to close off the week. So let's summon some more, and then see where that gets us. This is incredible luck. What was I saying before? Before I started talking about Severa. Oh yeah, also Pawns. Tempest Trials. Oh, the need. I'm pretty sure everyone finished it because it's just over. You don't have a choice in terms of whether you get to finish it or not. But it's over. That little it's not a preamble. Conclusion. The conclusion that they gave to that story was actually pretty hype for me because it gave a little, what's the word? Hint, or a little foreshadowing that there might be something with Eitri. I don't know if I'm the only one that got that. Maybe I'm being a little bit crazy because that's just like Eitri. Like personally for me is like one of my favorite OCs from this game. It's Eitri, Dagger, I really like Dagger. Golveg, of course. Neathhogger. There's a type there. Veronica's sister. Is it Leticia? Is she your sister? I forget. Really like Leticia. She needed to have been a legendary. That was a missed opportunity. Her design was fantastic. Perfect for being a legendary. But they haven't put out a lot of OCs as legendaries in a while. I don't know why. Because there's a lot of options at this point. So I feel like that's something that they haven't explored enough, especially since they're kind of running low on mainline games. But maybe reception-wise, whether or not people would pay for those units, maybe that's the issue. I don't know, but they're ultimately, the last one is probably Veronica, Legendary Veronica. But ultimately, if the unit, which again, she's probably proof, but also she's kind of popular. But it's really like, if the unit is good, then alright. Alright, well that pretty much, I guess I just have to end the summoning at this point, because that pretty much completes my goal. I got one of each, so I was just gonna keep going until I got something else, but I guess I gotta hold myself accountable here and not summon anymore. Let's do some management stuff. But yeah, I feel like Letizia was a missed opportunity to be a legendary candidate. I feel like she had the makings of it. They just needed to give her a whole new weapon and stuff, and it would have, design-wise, I thought she looked fantastic to be like a counter to Veronica. I guess maybe they didn't go that route because we have a ton of OCs in the game, and you probably don't want to oversaturate it. But she was really like, that was a missed opportunity. Personally, that's what I believe. But yeah, they gave us like some little hints that maybe Eitri is probably going to be in the next story, and I like that because like Eitri is like one of my like the crazy ones, you know. Ever since she gave that monologue, oh my god, woo, yeah, Eitri, fantastic. Even though her refine and stuff wasn't the greatest, yeah, expected. I think if she were to like get like some type of alts, and also it added on to the Nidavellir story. I, along with everyone else, was like, why does this man not have some type of perf skill or something? What's going on? He's a king. How did you like cook him like this? He's so underwhelming. Just an AoE spammer. Not that great. But it looks like there might be something in the works. I'm basing all of this on conjecture from the Tempest Trial conclusion story. So I don't know, man. Let's see what IS cooks up. I'd be hype about that. That looks pretty cool, especially if Eitri involved. I'd be there for it. I don't see how they would end up going back there. I think the next one is going to be. They've been doing book by book so far, so the next one should be Ash and Asker. Even though I don't see like an aided or rearmed, or how would you really do that with Ash? Looking at what she does, I don't really see how they would do that with her, but. I think that's the next one up. Yeah, so that would be pretty cool, I guess. Maybe. To be fair, I really preferred. It was, although I did like the ending for that book. Ash is not particularly my favorite. Embla versus Asker. That love story was pretty. Like I that was pretty cute. Yeah, it kind of gave me a lot of I've been watching like a ton of 90 Day Fiancé, and then they just put this new one out, Last Resort, 90 Day Fiancé Last Resort, where they kind of put them in like in all of them together in a house, and they try to fix their marriage. A lot of the marriages fail, obviously, because you only have 90 days to meet and figure out who this person is, and well, no, you know them from before, but it's like talking over the phone and then meeting in person is always two different things. So after 90 days, they get married, and then they got to figure out how to get it to work. And surprise, a lot of the relationships end up failing. So they're like couples therapy, pretty much, to try to get things to work together. And man, is it fantastic! It is very, very good reality TV. I have just been watching it for the past, I want to say, 5 hours. But yeah. That's kind of what the Asker Embla thing reminded me of. So yeah, that's pretty hype. I'm kind of like looking. I wanted to give Nurgle. I wanted to give him Canto Firm, but kind of doesn't seem to be worth it because he's a mage and I'm inherited from a dagger. Feels like a lot of wasted fodder, not optimal. But I do use Nurgle. I still, even after Neathhogger is a thing, I still use Nurgle quite a bit. So I kind of want to give him. He's my Canto control unit, so I kind of want to give it to him. Alir is another choice here, but again, even though he is very good, I do not like the Christmassy alts. It doesn't. Aesthetically, it's not pleasing. I don't like it. And also, there's a ton of stuff that's missing. No follow-up in particular. I mean, I can give him, if I really wanted to, from one of my attune units, but I don't know. Let's see how that goes. I might actually have to skip this. I can't figure out what to do right now. And also, I don't know which one of my God Swords to give the NCT Echo to. Probably Alir. I don't know. That's for future me to figure out. But yeah, I do think I'm gonna build that Severe up a bit. You saw, like, if you were looking at it pretty quickly there, you would have seen Jimbro, the Christmas alts in the barracks there. Man, he takes a ton of fodder to build that I currently do not have. I don't have any beast fodder just laying around, so he's gonna have to sit back for a bit. I like the fact that he's blue. I think that really works out well into a lot of red matchups currently. But again, I feel like he needs either Fierce Beast, Sturdy Beast, or whatever the one that he came with was. I think it was Fierce Beast. And he needs an A skill, he needs a B skill, that's a lot of fodder, and I currently do not have any to give to him. So he's just gonna have to chill for a while. Let's just look at some final stuff here. I don't know, man. This is still a pretty short video. Let's just look at the... okay, so this is currently what I'm thinking of for next season. I don't think it's that great because it gets hard countered pretty much by Barricade, which I saw a ton of Barricade in SDS. I'm not quite sure how that will translate into offensive matches. Because a lot of it was mainly on like Ather. Well, then also he will be bonus, so that's probably going to be an issue. But I did see a ton of Barricades, so that could play a part into this not working. And I feel like Barricade is just a strict upgrade to Gatekeeper. It just, like, if you have a unit that can run Barricade, you should probably just go ahead and do it to stop a lot of the warping shenanigans. Which is, again, is why I was saying that pass feels like this is the right time for a pass seal. Although I don't know what units would really benefit from it, but I feel like this is probably the time to bust out a pass seal, and that would sell like hotcakes because Barricades. I didn't think that so many people would fodder Tree Man for it. I thought he would be a lot more valuable in terms of just being a mythic, but either the one-off copy, they all just foddered the one that they had or the one that they sparked, or everyone got multiple and that banner sold really, really well, which I'm not quite sure if it did. Well, typically double banners sell really well, but the problem was the red share was really bad, and then the only good share was really colorless, I want to say. So I don't know, like, just looking at it, it kind of seems like, you know, not the best banner to pull on, but maybe, you know, some people decided otherwise. But for right now, Barricades is pretty much really, really just common. And it's one of the ways to beat this with the warping and everything. So that's one of my concerns. And also the range. I'm not too happy with the overlap here. A lot to work on. Only like 2 days really. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. Maybe I just end up running the same defense with Sita that I did from the previous last week. I don't know. We'll see what happens there. But yeah, let's just look at a couple more things. A few people just haven't played yet. This is, well, not this one. You're gonna see some. I'm gonna do the defense replace later, and you're gonna see just a couple similarities, I guess, between this and what Steven did here. Yeah, the Hearthvulgar. Surprisingly, he was getting, I guess, in a competitive setting. In a competitive setting, it's a lot easier or a lot more difficult to just be oppressive, because she ended up dying to quite a few things that I just didn't expect her to die to. But then also mine isn't +10. But in SDS, the few times I used her, she did die, surprisingly so, especially to a Jimbro, which I was surprised about. He got his special off and he just kind of one-shot her, which was kind of weird. But then also, caveat, ton of debuffs were going around there, so that probably contributed to why she lost. But yeah, very strong unit, especially if she's +10. Pretty much takes no damage, even from like bows. Like, you think like you'd be able to shoot down a bird with an arrow, but not her. Doesn't work for her or work against her.
Warmest greetings.
The thing here about this Neathauger, typically you don't need this much support to take out Neathauger. The thing here is, I remember I was saying that Barricade stacks, and it stacks really well, and it works out really well in her favor. That's exactly what's going on here. You see like +20s to her defense and res. It just makes her so bulky that even Crom can't one-shot her, on top of everything else that she already does.
What now?
Yeah, very, very powerful unit. And Shez here, you saw in my thing that I was able to get her, but that was really, a lot of that was down to the terrain effect, and getting the stat swings.
Don't be seen.
Yeah, Shez doesn't really get it. which is kind of, I mean, you'd think lethality would do a lot more work there, but it kind of doesn't, which is kind of sad for me.
Yes.
It makes me very unhappy. But
This is challenging.
I mean, you do what you can with units that you like. Even though I'm not too happy with, again, the Christmas sprites, but she's very strong.
You're the target.
I think I remember someone saying that looking at her, I don't know if it's like indications of what her refine will be in the future. To her swift slice, or well, probably it's not going to be named the same thing. And her weapon, we'll see. In terms of indications of what the refine will be like, I like the fact there was no follow-up in there. I thought that was really something that was missing from her kit, and it was really annoying to try to figure out where to put it into her kit. It was really annoying to try to figure that out. But currently what she's lacking is just damage, man. Even though she has effective against everything, she hits a lot of zeros in the current meta, which is quite bizarre. So yeah, she needs a way to do damage. That's a long way down the road, but she needs a way to do damage, which is really bizarre. Even failing to kill Ike these days, Shez, which is crazy. But yeah, those were just like a couple of the things that were on my mind. I'm kind of rambling at the moment. Don't know where I'm going with this. Just trying to I don't know. I kind of wanted to make the video longer, but now I'm at the point where I'm like, is this long enough? Or am I just talking for the sake of talking? But oh, you know, one of the things that I wanted to mention, I mean, sometimes when I do these videos, there's always something, well, there's something that I forget to mention that I wanted to talk about in the video, and then after the recording, then I'm just like, oh man, I forgot to bring that up. But a lot of people were saying that Lynn is going to be the emblem hero for this month, and I don't know, like, I don't really have a strong opinion either way, but if it, whoever the emblem hero is, I hope that they offer some type of, I want to do step, there it is, okay. This is actually really tricky to deal with. Neathogger here, I banned her like every single time she popped up in SD. Her and Treeman were really annoying to deal with, because basically she can just warp in and that's it. It's GG's. You can't do anything because she's so difficult to take out. Which is why I was just saying that whatever emblem unit they come out with, hopefully, one of the things that got recommended to me was like, hopefully it's like a Brave effect. And I was like, yo, that's actually a really, really powerful emblem effect. If it just like, whoever has this ring gets Brave or even Potent, that's a really powerful emblem effect, because it would revitalize so many nukes, because a lot of them are hindered by the fact that they can only hit twice. And we're currently in a meta where you need to do not only hit twice, but you also need to be brave. I mean, you also need desperation, because most nukes can't live the counterattack. So, which is why Miracle is such a big deal. But I mean, there's counters to that as well. So, yeah, if the next emblem ring gives us like some type of brave effect, that is going to be like huge for like even modes like SD, where, and also like not even just like nukes, but melee units. If more melee units have the potential to quad, jeez, that's like really scary. Like, one of the things that really holds Brave Seliph back is, one, damage output. Well, not really the damage output, special acceleration. And then also,
got it.
I think that's probably the only thing that, yeah, if Seliph was able to quad consistently, Brave Seliph would be a much more terrifying unit in the meta. And I'm kind of like sad that he's fallen off so much in comparison to Crom, who's just aging like fine wine. He just keeps getting better and better. And I feel like that's like unfair treatment in comparison to, like, it's clear favoritism. I mean, he has an armor effective weapon, but that's not the thing that makes him so good, which is crazy. It's just everything else about him. Whereas Seliph, who was a terror at the time that he came out, I feel like I can't really do anything with him without momentum. I mean, I gave him momentum, but even still, you're stuck into running an AoE build, and I don't think that was his role or what he was really meant to do. He really wants to be like hitting specials, like no quarters, big stuff like that. I had to sack Seth there. I positioning. It's such a pain with this guy's map. It's a really, really well designed map. I see that he swapped out what's his face? Diamant for Neathauger, which is just a strict upgrade. Neathauger is just flat out better. So no complaints there. It still works, as you can see, very, very well. But yeah, a brave ring, a potent emblem ring. I don't know, if that's really what's going to happen. But if the emblem ring that we get isn't on that tier, then I don't think the emblem unit is gonna be like really worth summoning for, because that's their main problem currently. Unless it's a miracle ring. That's the only other thing that I would accept. But I've been yapping enough, man. GG's.